All right, 2-TAC 82. Here we go. Assume that each pair of figures below is similar. Okay? Recall what similar means. It means all the angles inside are the same, so it's basically one is a scaled version of the other one. They're not saying it's congruent, but they're saying it's similar. And then it says, write a similarity statement to illustrate which parts of each shape correspond. Remember, letter order is important. Okay. So what they mean by that is we could say ELOV, right? Or ha, cute. LOVE, right? Love. There you go. That's cute. Um, so LOVE is similar to something, but it's not going to be A, B, C, D because like L and A and then A to B and L to O are not the same, right? So we can't really write LOVE and then I think the symbol for, let's see, so if we wrote, where's the symbol for, well, it's not really a triangle. That's how you do a triangle, I think. But let's say LOVE, and then the symbol for similar is a little wavy line, I think. Something like that. We can't really write that because LO would have to correspond to AB, and then OV would have to correspond to BC, and then VE, this line, would have to correspond to CD, and they just don't, right? So the diagonal one is EV, and the diagonal one here is AB. So that's kind of how I like to do these types of problems is if we assume that they're similar, well, one way is to just draw it. So like if I'll cheat a moment here, and we'll just draw this out. So if this is one of the shapes, and then this is the other shape they gave us. Clearly, if I rotate this, it's still not quite the same, right? So one way I could do this is I could actually just try and label them. So let's say this is E L O V, right? And then I could label this one A, B, C, and D. And then if I rotate them together, right, you'll see, well, that's not right. They're not correct there. But if I rotate it and then I flip it, so let's see, rotate, flip, boink. Now they're similar. So they're similarly aligned now. So then we could just figure out what we want to label these. So let's see, if we go LOVE, then this one would be, I think that was a DCBA. Okay, so we could write LOVE is similar to, where's the similar symbol? There it is. Similar to, what did I say? DCBA. DCBA. There we go. So that's one way to write it. Let me just make sure that similarity symbol, geometry. Just make sure I've got the right symbol for you there. Similarity symbol. What is the symbol for similarity? Okay, so that's the symbol for triangle. One right. Yeah, there we go. Little squiggly line. Cool. All right. So looks like we've got, yep. All right. So that's the first one. Let's do the second one. Let's do B. Well, let's make sure what they say. Answer. ABCD equals EVOL. So they went ABCD, so they went left to right. So ABCD, and then they said equals EVOL. EVOL. Yeah, that's the same. We just recognized that they put the word love in there, so we did that. That's cute. Okay. Next one, over here. All right. This one looks a little bit easier. So if we don't have like a cool little tool to use to figure this out, one way to do it is to kind of find some similar like edges and then kind of go around and make sure that all the rest of the edges match. So for example, let's start with the one on each of these polygons. Let's start with the one that has one tick mark on there. So here it's RI has the tick mark, and then if you move clockwise, the next one has nothing, right? And then if you continue moving clockwise, this one should have a double line, and it does. And then you continue moving clockwise, and you've got an empty one, and continue moving clockwise, and then you've got that long one. So it really looks like this shape right here on the right is just rotated a little bit. And actually, look at that. R-I-G-H-T. It's rotated to the right. Isn't that cute? I wonder what this one is supposed to spell out. Fesla, nope. Eslaf, nope. Slaf? Ethel? Anyways. Okay. So, let's go ahead and write down the similarity statement here. Let me move this a little bit so we can see. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and just spell out this one. So we've got R-I-G-H-T, right? And we're going to say is similar to. So let's start with this side with a single line, and let's go ahead and start. So that would be E-S-L-A-F. Eslaf. Okay, let's see if they say the same thing. Use the same method. Their hints are sometimes not very helpful. Okay, but I think hopefully that was pretty straightforward. And now let's try for C. What have we got for C? Ooh, this one's tricky because again, it's not just rotated, right? So here we've got the big angle, so let's start at that big angle. So on this one it's A, on this one it's D. So let's take the big angle and let's move towards the side with the tick. Okay, so we've got A. If I move towards the tick, I get T. If I'm over here and I start at the big angle and I move towards the tick mark, I get G. And then if I go down the long side, I go to C. And if I go down this long side, I go to O. So it looks like this one is also a mirror image. So if I flip this such that the T is on this side and the C is on that, kind of like flip it horizontally, then it looks like it'll be this shape. So how would we write that? So we can say on the left, let's start with the D, and now we'll go towards the tick mark, which means G, and then we'll go along the long side, which means O. Although it looks like they probably want us to go the other way, huh? Okay, let's go the other way so that we can spell dog. Alright, so go from the D to the side with no tick mark, to the long side to the tick mark. Then let's go here. We'll start at the angle, right there. We'll start at the angle, just like we did here. We started at the angle, so we'll start at the angle, go towards the side with no tick mark, end up at the C, and then we'll go down the long side and end up with the T. It looks like they wanted us to say cat is equal to dog, but you can't really say that because the O, which is the middle letter of dog, is one of these long points, and the A, which is the middle letter of cat, is this big angle. So can't really do that. You gotta pick one or the other. So, there we go. Dog is similar to cat, or act rather. Okay, next one.